You like fanfiction too. You just don't call it that. If somebody tries to shame you for liking what you like, I am tired of society's views on fanfiction. Because the moment you say, hey, I read fanfic, people react like you just confessed to a crime.
Oh, you're one of those.
Oh, you like that? TMI test. I just want to grab them by the shoulders and go, you like fanfiction too. You just don't call it that.
Hello, we're having weather.
So in this video, I want to make a case for what people think fanfiction is versus what it actually is.
Write that down, write that down!
Right now, the general perception is badly written, over-sexualized, written by either 12-year-olds or middle-aged women who are lonely.
What's another word for engorged?
And with the most predictable plots imaginable. And sure, that may be partly true, but it's a pretty negative perspective, mainly taken by those who don't read fanfic.
It's like, shut the f up.
Nevertheless, there are some assumptions that people who do love fanfic also make. The biggest one being that fanfic only exists on platforms such as Wattpad, AO3, Fanfiction.net, and it's not as simple as that.
It's not that simple.
What do you want?
If we go by definition, fanfiction is a creative work that uses characters, settings, or mythologies from an existing source material to create new narratives that weren't present in the original canon. Now stay with me. Creative work, not just writing. That means fanfiction can be books, yes, but also films, art, even music.
What? Who the hell is Cedric Diggory? What is that? Who is that guy?
And I know some people are already mentally closing the video like, nope, that's not it at all.
Okay.
Then let's focus on the writing. But even then, this definition is way broader than most people think. Because once you get to this part, you realize something. If you take any existing story and reshape it, that's fanfiction. New narrative? Virgil literally took a side character from the Iliad and built an entire epic around him. Reimagined outcome. Anastasia. Wicked. Transformative perspective? Frankenstein is literally a new Prometheus. The Divine Comedy took heaven and hell as settings. And I know some people may be thinking, but Tess, that doesn't count because when people talk about fanfiction, they mean Wattpad, AO3.
You could never go through with it because I'm the only woman who could ever make you feel something after the loss of your wife!
And I'll get to that, but here's the thing. Those classics I just mentioned, some actually fall into our categories. You think modern fanfic's the only one with these traits? Let's talk about stereotypes. First stereotype, fanfic is overly sexual.
They do know we're brothers, right? Doesn't seem to matter. That's just sick.
So was the 120 Days of Sodom. So was La Porcelle d'Orléans. The Porneia exists, I'm not even getting into that. This is not new. Second stereotype, it's badly written. Early manuscripts by authors like Matthew Lewis or the Marquis de Sade were not great. They were messy, unpolished, even criticized by their society. What they did have was lots of time and editors. Third stereotype, it's written by either kids or a lonely middle-aged woman. Okay, I see what you're doing there. Jane Austen was 14 when she wrote Love and Friendship. Mary Shelley was a widow when she wrote The Last Man. Even if that stereotype were true, it wouldn't mean anything about quality.
That's like a struggle I don't want to deal with anymore.
But it's not even accurate because most AO3 writers nowadays are in their 20s or even 30s, and there's way more non-explicit content than there is sexual content. Now, am I saying there is no badly written fanfic? Of course there is.
We're not brain surgeons. We're not construction workers. We're not veterinarians.
There are also cliché plots. And yes, there's also smut.
No need to shout. No need to yell. No need to have a riot.
But that's not fanfiction as a whole. That's just a fraction of it. Going back to this, if fanfiction can be any creative interpretation, then it's everywhere. West Side Story is Romeo and Juliet. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood reimagines the story of a person, as does Inglourious Basterds. Even Kingdom Hearts has its own OCs. And don't get me started on Disney. So no, you don't need to read fanfic in order to like fanfic. In fact, you probably already do. You've loved it your whole life, you just didn't call it that.
And for the people at home, this cannot be overstated. Hobbies prevent suicide.
Beloved fanfic reader, if somebody tries to shame you for liking what you like,
Oh, hell no!
send them this video and I'll explain it for you. And if they're still not convinced, hey, they're still a part of our group anyway. They just won't accept it.
Motherfucker.